King Randall is here. He's going to tell us all about manhood and teaching young boys what would you call it? The art of manhood, being a man. How do you say it? Because when I'm looking at the website, and I'll just give everybody a heads up, the xforboys.org is where you can go learn all about the school. I called this video "School Makes Manhood a Focus." So, like, can you first define for me what you mean by manhood?
Oh man, that's a very very interesting question because it's a lot in that. Definitely, one who's able to take care of the women and children in the community, and that's all the men. Taking care of the women and children in the community, being a provider, protector. Taking care of things really, and then also just handyman stuff. I would consider it what was a traditional man back when your grandfather was considered a man. We did everything. We took care of business. We took care of our families, and that was it. And now that's like a lost art. So now it's like it's surprising when men are paying the bills or taking care of the family or in their kids' lives. It's a surprise now. But we want to get back to where we used to be, where that was always the thing, where families were together and men were taking care of the responsibilities of the community. That's what I believe in as far as manhood. But I could go all day into what like that fully means.
Looking over at the gallery you all have here. So you're showing like home exterior painting. There's like home building workshops, firearms training, more what would you call this? I guess workshop type stuff, home improvement, putting up a fence, learning how to fix cars. What makes that so controversial? Because it seems like you definitely have your share of people who question what you're trying to do. Why is that controversial to teach kids that?
Well, a lot of it is because we're attacking the narrative that's popular right now, and for young black men, we're not supposed to be able to do anything. We're supposed to rely on the government for everything, and we're not supposed to do things for ourselves. And this is the arguments that we get into on social media, and then on top of that, white people are not supposed to like what we're doing. We're supposed to, if we're going to work for black kids, we're not supposed to let white people enjoy what we're doing. That's a big thing that happens on Twitter sometimes, is people get mad because white people support what we're doing, or Facebook or whatever. And I'm just like, do you want me to make a post and say, oh, white people, you're not allowed to like what we're doing? I'm just like, it makes no sense. And then these same people will, fuss at us and say, oh, well, we need to be fighting for reparations. I'm like, well, if you want white people to give you money and you're upset that white people are supporting our organization, I'm not understanding where what we're arguing about. So, again, it's just, fighting those critics. You're going to deal with that. It comes with the territory, especially when you're doing good work. I always say they talked about Jesus, so I can't expect them not to talk about me, but there's nothing, really controversial about what I'm doing. It's just, they're making it controversial because they got to have something to say. So.
All right, let's talk real fast about the location. You're in Albany, Georgia, right? And
yes.
On your website, you talk about Albany having issues with poverty and crime. Can you describe the situation that motivated you to open the school?
Sure. Well, for starters, I opened a program back in 2019 when I was just 19 years old myself. And I started this program in my dining room of my home at the time. And the reason I started the actual school in itself was because during a summer program that I created, I started seeing that so many boys and girls couldn't read. Well, just boys, because I was working with boys, but girls too. But boys couldn't read. It was quite alarming to me. They couldn't write. And it was a big issue for me. And I'm just like, how are you guys? Like, I'm legit asking them in person. I'm like, how are you in the 11th grade? How are you in the 7th grade? You can't even read cat dog, or much less write. And it was sad. I'm just like, there's no way these kids are passing through school. So I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And I told the kids, I'll never forget it. We were sitting down after playing outside, and I told them I was going to open a school one day. I didn't know how I was going to do it or when I was going to do it, but we're just going to open the school up. And, at this time, I had no knowledge of anything as far as nonprofits and LLCs and boards and all that stuff. I had no clue about any of that. I was just working. I had a dream to work with kids, and that's what I was doing. I was teaching these kids how to work on everything that you saw in those galleries. and of course with no permission slips or anything. So thankfully, I got a staff that I brought on to help get all that stuff taken care of for us, and it's been a beautiful thing to get us, the permission slips and the back end stuff, get the 501c3, all that good stuff that I was missing when I first started. It just started with a dream, and that's why I wanted to do it. But that's kind of how I got the idea to start the school, because our kids, they're graduating here, can't read and write. They're graduating here, can't do math, and we're expecting them to be upstanding citizens and not commit crime and get in trouble. Absolutely not. I just think that's asinine.
How many kids do you have in the school right now?
We have 7 students in the actual school, but we have about 60 in the after school program.
Okay. And you meet where?
We meet here. We're at our office building right now. So we have an office building. We also have our school building. We own 40 acres of land. We also own a small building on a more impoverished side of town. And we also own a boarding house here in Albany. So that's where we want to have the kids actually stay, because they have a lot of issues that they actually deal with at home in their families that they kind of just need to be away from, and also to help them develop habits. But we're based right now out of our office building in Albany, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you have 7 full-time students, and do they live at the school now, or you're saying that's a hope for the future?
We were doing boarding, and we cut boarding after we had a storm come through our hometown. We cut boarding after that, but we plan to bring boarding back soon, possibly next year. Hopefully our fundraiser for the summertime goes perfect, and we'll bring boarding back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so now with like the 7 students, what are their age ranges? And do you have like separate classrooms? Does everybody learn in the same classroom? How does that work?
Yeah, everybody's in the same classroom. They're all in 7th grade right now. So we didn't take any new students during the second year because of the storm putting us off in the city of Albany, kind of, bothering us about our facility. So we never took new students. So we still have the same students we had last year that we're working with right now.
Okay. When you say the city bothering you about it, does that have something to do with this article, this news from a couple years ago?
Yeah, that particular article was when we were trying to purchase a local school building from the Doherty County school system. And that deal ended up falling through, and we didn't buy that school from them. But that isn't in particular the city bothering us on that one. That's more of a big fallout we had with our local school system. So, and then aside from that, the school, when we had the storm happen, the city sent out like 11 different fire marshals to come and inspect the building after we had a storm. And they came in taking pictures of everything, guys with briefcases and all that stuff. And they told us that we couldn't be there until we got certain things fixed, even though, previously there were other tenants that were there and operating business out of there. Of course, it was us, and they told us we couldn't operate out there. And they have like this 200+ page paper of things we got to get fixed. But we're not necessarily worried about that. We know that's going to happen because every time, we say something's going to happen, we end up doing it. So hopefully this summer, after this summer, we're going to get all those renovations done and be back in our main school facility. That's what we're expecting.
One reason I wanted to bring this up is because most of the people that I've had on my show have been in some way covered by either local or national news. And a lot of times they have fair criticism of the reports that were done about them. And I was curious about with this, did you feel like the local news did a good job covering what happened? Do you feel like they were biased towards the county, the school system? Do they seem interested in what you guys are doing? Or are you guys too heretical for them because of this manhood idea and it just doesn't jive anymore with public school systems and what maybe the mainstream news, I guess, sees as a valuable education? I'm just curious what you think about, people go read this article. It's from a couple of years ago. It's not recent, June 16, 2021. But yeah, I'm just curious what you think about how has the press covered you all, and how has that affected your ability to do what you do?
It's been fine for the most part. The local news, WAOB, they actually just let both of us tell our side. I mean, that was it. They didn't really take sides or anything. They just let the school system tell their side. I told my side, and that was it. Now, our local newspaper allowed our school superintendent to give a story in the paper and didn't allow me to tell my side of what happened. So of course he said all these different things in the paper that weren't true. And people were like thrashing me in the local newspaper about it. I mean, it was some real bad stuff they were saying about me, but it was totally fine. You know, that comes with the territory of, you know, trying to do good work in your hometown. The partnership should have been something perfect, but I wasn't going to allow them to have autonomy over my curriculum at the school. They were basically wanting us to become another one of their schools, and I wasn't having that. They were like, oh, well, you can still be under Dougherty County school system. You have your own school, you have your own diplomas and this and that and whatever. But, you know, we just want to, you know, control the curriculum. I'm like, absolutely not. That's not why I'm opening the school. I just want to buy the building, you know, and they were saying that we couldn't buy the building unless we agreed to those stipulations. And that's what I was talking about with the nationwide news when I got on Fox and talked about that. That's how that story came up, because it was everywhere and people were calling and trying to figure out why, you know, the deal fell through and stuff like that. So that was a big blow up in 2021, but you know, that's behind us. So
okay, all right. Well, King, give me a second to tell people about wine. If you're being covered by the media, there's a blow up with you and somebody like King's talking about, and you're just like, I need a good glass of wine. You know what? I'm going to watch Allison's show. I'm going to kick back. You can go to AllisonWinePromo.com. Get 50% off my favorite wines and 50% off shipping. These are all Extremist Altitude wines. They're the heretic of the wine industry. In fact, I wouldn't even say they're part of the wine industry. They're anti-wine industry. They're like small farms, hand-picked grapes, vineyards from between 6,000 and 9,000 feet. They taste great, and this company has been very good to me. They never tell me who I can talk to, what I can say. So if you're already a wine drinker, go try it out. You will not be disappointed. It's a great gift for somebody you unfriended on Facebook or you got into a fight with on Twitter. Give them some AllisonWinePromo.com. They will forget about it. And they won't forget about it because they're drunk. Don't forget, everybody, if you don't want to use a credit card to support my work, you want to send me your loose pocket change or a winning lottery ticket or just a card, family photo, all that good stuff, you can send me some actual mail at P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida, 34432. Thanks, everybody who sends mail. I've really appreciated getting it. Your support, your encouragement, financially, and just sending me a thank you note. It really does mean a lot. Okay, over on Locals, again, AllisonMorrow.locals.com. You can be on my editorial board for $5 a month and go one-on-one with the most censored people on the internet. There are questions about funding. Who are the biggest donors? Man, there's some good ones. Where does that mindset come from they were talking about? I don't know if you're talking about the opposition or you. So let's start with donors. Who's donating to the school? Who are your biggest donors?
I mean, they're no name people. I mean, these are not any famous celebrities or anything like that. These are just regular people, you know, who donate monthly. We have a lot of people that just sign up to give monthly donations. We have people give to our Amazon wish list all the time. These are just regular everyday people. These people giving $5 at a time, $1, $10, $20, $500. This is how people give, and so this is why we continue posting what we do. Our school is tuition free. We don't charge for anything we do. So haircuts, uniforms, food, etc., staff, we fund it exclusively from donors. We don't get any government grants or anything like that. We've only been blessed to be able to take care of our students and our staff and our facilities, you know, through donors. And that's something that I love to talk about because, you know, everybody loves what we do. And it's like you can't find anything really negative about it. You may disagree with the ideology or something like that, but all in all, the work that we do is very important. But yeah, I mean, our donors are like no name people. It's not like a major celebrity or LeBron James or nothing like that giving. It's just regular everyday people, everyday Americans that are giving from all over the country.
Okay. And can you give us a little bit about your background?
Sure.
Education, family, whatever you want to talk about.
Sure. Well, I'm King Randall. I'm 24 years old now. I went to the Marine Corps immediately after high school. I got married out of high school. I had 2 babies, Baby King and King William. I opened up my school. I spent when I was in the Marine Corps, I learned how to drive a forklift. So I was driving forklifts to support the program. Originally, when I first opened it, I was cutting hair and fixing cars. So I'm a barber. I graduated high school with a culinary degree. I went to Albany Technical College. I've been divorced now. I've lived a whole lot of life. So
yeah, you're young.
I've lived a whole lot of life to be 24. So it's been a lot that's happened, you know, with me in my life since, you know, opening the school. But I've grown a whole lot, you know, in between that time, and who I was when I first opened the school and who I am now. It's just a lot of different ideas and a lot of different things happen. But the end goal is still the same.
And what is that?
To make 300 young men that will go and fix the city of Albany. Will I run into maybe 1,000, 2,000 young men? Absolutely. But I believe 300 young men, this is biblically speaking, 300 men will be able to fix a city. And I believe if you make 300 young men who are like-minded in one city, I believe you can change it. That's something that I believe in. So here and there, I may work with 100 kids this semester, but I might get 2 out of that group, that may say, or may be that one of the 300, so again, it's going to take time. It's going to take a couple of years. I'm not expecting no overnight change. I expect the changes that I want to see in the city of Albany to happen 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when my kids are old enough and the students are old enough to be able to go affect change. So maybe when I turn 50 or 60, we'll start seeing those, whirlwind changes that I want to see in the city of Albany.
All right, let's take a question again. Okay, let me get through all these. From what I've heard of King Randall, he's doing the job the world needs right now, teaching practical knowledge that helps create good citizens. How does he deal with the negative comments from all the useful idiots who aren't part of the solution? I mean, we kind of talked about that. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I actually engaged them because what's been happening lately now is many of the negative comments that we've been getting have actually been driving viewership to our program. So this past weekend, we had so many people talking about the video where I did the police interaction. And even though we had so many people calling me so many names, sending me nasty DMs in my DM on Twitter and all this nasty stuff they were saying, they were driving viewership because as many people were saying negative things, so many people were defending it. And what was happening is it's moving the algorithm toward us, and we got people donating to us because people are talking trash about us. So even though people were talking trash, they were actually helping us out. So I just kept the conversations going, over the weekend while I was on the plane going somewhere. So as they were talking negative about us, we were enjoying it because they were sending people. I mean, we got to our Amazon wish list box or whatever, and I had to make 2 trips because people had bought so much stuff from our Amazon wish list. So I'm like, just keep the conversations going, keep on talking, say everything bad that you want to say about us. You can hang that up. I enjoy the negativity now because it helps us out, and I just continue the conversations. I'm not expecting nobody to say nothing negative. We're doing something positive.
Okay, DMC, are you a member of any Greek letter organization or other secret society?
No, not. I didn't join any of those organizations. Not in the Masons. Not in Omega Sci-Fi or none of that stuff. I'm just me.
Okay. What is the importance of the X symbol? Critical Thought asks, and what does Randall think of Elon's usurpation of the X symbol in July of 2023? Is Randall familiar with the work of Jeffrey Cannon and the Harlem Children's Zone? If so, is the X partnering or planning to partner with HCZ? Their William Julius Wilson Institute Support for Communities Division has been engaging with community groups in many cities across the nation, including Atlanta, to help build cradle to career opportunities for success in 2019. Grateful for Randall's efforts to social reform in his community. So the couple, I guess, main ones are, what's the importance of the X symbol? What do you think about Elon calling Twitter X? Did he steal that from you? And have you heard of the Harlem Children's Zone?
No, I haven't heard of Harlem Children's Zone. I'll take a look at that when I get finished. The X symbol is just like a math equation. You're solving for X. I don't think if you look at our website, we talk about how we solve for X, but it's just like a math equation. What makes you a man, and what does X equal? And that's what it is for us. Making a man. And so it's just like a math equation. We're solving for X and teaching boys how to be men. Of course, the fist is for strength. In the X. And standing on what we believe. But yeah, I have no idea what HCZ is. And I saw that Elon took the X. So we had been making some Twitter posts to him some time ago, because I was just like, this is a partnership in the making. Why exactly? It's the X for boys and the X. We can make this work. So we have been tweeting him a few times. I'm not sure if he saw it or not, but definitely I'll make another tweet at him again about the X thing, because obviously we should do something if we're the X for boys, so we'll see.
Any final thoughts? Oh, I wanted to just tell people where they could find you too. Again, on Twitter, it's New Emerging King. And this is one of your tweets here. Our students this morning learning how to fix and operate heavy equipment with Trowick Construction. Our older students considering jobs here as they train you out of high school, making $15 an hour. Not bad. Final thoughts.
I'm good. I don't have anything. You can find us at thexforboys.org, or you can find me on all socials, no matter what, at New Emerging King.